weatherman said it was supposed to be less rainy the farther south you got, but that has not been the case as I've driven south. Well, I just drove up to the Old Pinnacles parking area there, and gonna head up to Harris Benchmark, which is up near the north border of the park. Take this trail to the North Wilderness Trail and some bushwhacking. Chalone Creek right there. Definitely water. Hopefully it's not too high. I think there's a couple crossings. But we shall see. It will be an adventure either way. When I did this peak a couple years ago, I started on the other side of the park. And I did it, but it does involve climbing up, and then you lose a couple hundred feet or maybe even 1,000 feet to get down to the bed at Chalone Creek here. So I'm trying it from this side today. It's a mile longer each way, but there are no extra climbs, you know, it's just a slow, steady uphill till I get to the place where I'm gonna go up the ridge, and then steeply up, and then just bump along the ridge. So we'll see if it's any better. At the very least, it's not 1,000,000 degrees because it's April and not August. So that, I got that going for me. North Wilderness Trail. Looks like our first stream crossing will be down here. Hopefully it's not too bad. Oh, this will be fine. I just gotta put the phone away. Tricky stream crossing number 1. That was not pretty, but my feet got across without a major soak-in, so that's a win. Does not bode well for the rest of the hike, though. And another stream crossing, of course. There are a lot more crossings of Chalone Creek than I was expecting. This is turning into more of an adventure than I anticipated. This crossing is really there to test your balance. It's kind of deep on either side of that log, but I made it across. I can tell I'm almost at the point where I'm going to turn off the trail. There's a big opening over there where there's a canyon coming down, and I want to go up that a little ways and then find the fence line and head up the ridge. Finally, a bridge across the stream. I've had to cross this stream a couple times, but this one I can just about step across most places, so it's not nearly as bad as Chalone Creek was. I think this one's just a tributary. But, I don't know, another quarter mile, half mile, something like that, and then I'll start going up the hill. My best guess for the route is to go just over where those trees are. Unless one of these scars look, none of them look particularly pleasant. I think I'll just go around. Maybe coming down, we'll see how it looks. Down is always easier through dense brush. The base of the climb, I've done about 4.5 miles out of 7, so I got about 2.5 to go. And I've probably only done about 20% of that work. This is a steep uphill, as you can probably tell by my labored breathing. It was bound to come sooner or later. Well, I made it to the ridge. I just gotta cross the fence and keep going. I think I'll use these wooden things here to get over, so I don't have to try and crawl and climb and whatnot. South Chalone with Hawkins Peak in front. This is it. Final little climb. Well, it was a good activation while it lasted. It started sprinkling when I got on to 30 meters after 20. And I worked a little and then didn't seem to be letting up. So I stood up and I could see a lot more rain coming this way. So I decided to just QRT, pack up. I'm not really prepared to sit in the rain and then bushwhack for 7 miles. So, yeah, what are you gonna do? At least I made more contacts than last time I came up here. But I'm sure there'll be another visit at some point. Nearly missed that turn behind me. Luckily, I looked at my handy dandy watch map and only had to backtrack a couple feet instead of uphill and back. Gotta pay attention when you're not on a marked trail. Love this view of Hawkins and the Chalone peaks. Not too many people in Pinnacles ever get this view. Most aren't crazy enough to do this sort of bushwhacking. Lucky for you, dear viewer, I am crazy enough, and I'm videoing it. The stream I followed up is behind me, but my theory is that the main stream, which should be just down here, will be a little less brushy and easier to follow. So, a little bit of a gamble, but I'm feeling good, so worst comes to worst, I'll just backtrack and go out the way I came up. Part of the fun of bushwhacking. Love these little meadows in the spring. I'm back on the North Wilderness Trail. There's a lot more bushwhacking than I expected. I thought once I got up on the ridge it would be fairly clear, you know, jeep trails, fire breaks, whatever. There were a lot of sections that it was, you know, dense enough I had to work at pushing through. The way up, I started following a little tributary of the stream in the canyon, and that went through some pretty deep brush, or pretty thick brush. The way back, I followed the fence over to the main stream, and that was much, much better. So, if you go this way, make sure you follow the main stream, which is farther left, all the way up to the fence, and you'll avoid some nasty bushwhacking. back on the main trail. I think it's the Balconies Cave Trail. And the sign said it's about a mile back to the trailhead. So, should be a quick mile since there's this trail is really nice. A lot more people on this part of the trail. Not surprising. Solitude was nice while it lasted.